Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Happy February 15th on the 15 on 15. We're going to get started in just a few seconds. Right, perfect. So today's topic is going to be the RelativityOne Staging Explorer, also known as ROSE. Coincidentally, you'll see that I special ordered these flowers next to me just for this particular occasion. So with that, we're going to go ahead and jump into the topic because, of course, this is 15 minutes. So first up, what are we going to talk today? Of course, we're going to talk about rows, how to navigate rows, unzipping and zipping data, and then also the best practices. So let's start with what is the RelativityOne Staging Explorer. Essentially, it allows you to quickly transfer data to and from RelativityOne, of course. Windows users can run Staging Explorer on one machine at a time. It doesn't support file paths that are longer than 470 characters. The active number of transfers you can have are 3, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. With the transfer rate can be edited, so if you need to give priority to one particular import over the other, you can modify that. And for those that have been using it for a while, it used to be running through Aspera, IBM's Aspera, and now it runs through Microsoft Azure. So a few things on where to put data, and some of these are for maybe some admins, but just to note, there's an ARM share, so it's a folder where you can upload that data, and essentially we're going to restore an ARM from that location. Processing source. So we can go ahead and put data we would process into a folder there, and then also exporting data. So there's export location for there as well for import export. So once you open rows, to get to the settings, you can click in the upper right hand corner. You're going to see it says hi and then your name. And you're going to have a few options, one of which is settings. So you can transfer data and test your throughput. So what it'll do is send 500 files, about 500 kilobytes each. You can modify the number of transfers. So obviously 1 to the maximum of 3, we just talked about a second ago. And then to launch any documentation, you can click the help icon. So for navigating, there's a few different ways you can go about doing that. The first being obviously you can follow the numbers on the screen. Number 1 just being it's basically back or up a folder level. The second one is refresh. The third is where you can paste the path. So depending upon your settings, you can just copy and paste a path from a folder onto the screen. The fourth being if you need to search or filter on something, you can go ahead and put information in there. 5 is if you need to add a new folder to place data, you can go ahead and click that. And 6 would be to rename a folder. To continue going down, 7, we have copying files, 8 move files, 9 is delete files, 10 is the actual button. So once we select the files, click that, we can upload. And then 11, just basically clicking on the fields, you can essentially sort ascending or descending order. And 12, if you need to calculate the size, you're able to click on little binoculars, and so it'll calculate the size of that particular folder. So just a quick note, top 1,000 items are displayed by default, and so to put multiple pages there. If some of you know are good with kind of Windows commands, Control A's will highlight typically the entire volume. It'll only select those 1,000 items, so just a note there. So as far as talking about the next item here, we've got zipping and unzipping. So the feature on the icon, and we'll show this in just a few moments, is essentially the ability to zip and unzip. So it's now available in rows. We'll go ahead and it will preserve metadata for you. Compressing archives will use the zip file extension, so no 7Z or R, at least not today. During extraction, any file names containing special characters, unsupported characters are replaced with an underscore. So just a note on that. If you are uploading a zip file and you can process in the zip, that's one way to retain that information. And then the more information on the chart on the left, talking about extraction and compression and the different types of information that are supported. So different types of items as far as multi-split today. For zip file, that is planned for compression, but currently to extract is currently supported. So just a quick note on some of those items. As of today, since this is a fairly new general release, for RelativityOne, they recommend not to exceed 100 gigs for zipping or unzipping. And so if you have that concern or issue or need to address that, you can definitely reach out to the team and we'll help discuss some of those items. So what are some of the best practices from Staging Explorer, from Relativity? They recommend not to use Wi-Fi. So obviously plugged in, it's going to give you a faster, more stable connection. Oops, too fast there. And so essentially, due to bandwidth sharing, performing large and highly fragmented transfers in parallel is not recommended. So if you're trying to push up 2 terabytes, you may not want to have 2 other active transfers too. So just keep a note of your bandwidth that you have. You're in the office, you're at home, wherever you're transferring the data from. It will essentially try to fill up your bandwidth as much as possible. So if you have a family and they're trying to watch Netflix and do all the other million things, that'll cause a problem for both of you. When downloading data, they recommend to use a local drive. External drives aren't recommended. Same thing, just it's another layer or hop, or it may just have some issues connecting and downloading. Relativity doesn't store any information about file path information for privacy concerns. So let's go ahead and jump in and take a peek. So I have the RelativityOne Staging Explorer up on my screen. Over here on the left, you're going to see the lovely information that I have on my desktop that we're going to transfer today. And then over here, we're going to be transferring to this processing source folder. So it's data that we're going to process into this 15 on 15 folder. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to go ahead and upload some data. So I will go ahead and I will select this Prado 01. I'm going to upload it to the staging area. And so you're going to see it goes ahead and it creates a transfer down here at the bottom. And click my little plus sign. And so it's going to take a few seconds to connect. But once it'll connect, it'll basically be done within 2 seconds. And so while that happens, you're going to see the information right here, the duration, how much time's left, when it started, when it finished. If there's any troubleshooting needed, definitely recommend getting a job ID information. It'll kind of help us go ahead and get that started. And so you'll see it finished. And so now the zip file is located here. To kind of continue on, looking at files to basically zip. Let's say I wanted to go ahead and zip these 4 folders. I can hit Control A, or if you're not familiar with that, you can hold down Shift and click, and you'll see the 4 folders here highlighted in blue. And so if I wanted to go ahead and create a zip file, go ahead and hit this compress. And so it's going to ask me what I want to name the zip file. So if folks are following closely, the kind of folder that I had was TZ001. I can set a password, set a password we do not recommend, which is 123. Always should use 8 or more characters, uppercase, lowercase, special number, special character, and a number. So you'll go ahead and we'll see that zip file is currently underway. So you can see we've got the transfer and the file operation. And so that's now done being compressed. Gives us the number of files, if anything was failed or an issue along the way, it would be there. So with this, you can see the size of the particular folder or the zip file for this, in this case. If you do need to try to figure out what the size is, so if I go back up one folder, and we wanted to get the general size of course, this will be the zip and the 4 folders. But if I just click on that little binoculars that you saw, you can see it's 3.5, roughly 3.5 megabytes. And one other thing of note too, if you have a zip file and you need to unzip it, if you click on the zip file, you're going to see that the kind of the zip in the folder, the extract button. Let's go ahead and click on that. And so you're going to see that we've got the same type of information. So if I wanted to go ahead and extract this, use the same password for simplicity, but of course, once again, don't recommend it. So 123 is that lovely password, and we went ahead and we extracted the information out. And so you'll see it in a few seconds. It'll go ahead and it's finished. Now, once again, just being able to click it, I can refresh the screen, and so you'll see the folder structure and the information underneath. Just a quick note, depending upon how it was zipped, you'll notice, right, the Prado1.zip. It was zipped with the folder name, so notice that I have to drill down kind of two folder levels to go ahead and get to that, which is why in the example I gave a second ago, I went ahead and I zipped up from this particular location. So that way, if somebody right clicks and extract to folder, it'll go ahead and create that path. So just something to note from that standpoint. If I wanted to go ahead and move this, I can do a few different things. I can go ahead and use the move icons and go click on that, and so it'll give me the location to move it to. If I wanted to go ahead and delete this, so I'm done. Let's say I loaded the zip file, the documents that were unzipped. Go ahead and delete it, and so it'll create another file operation for that as well. So just a few seconds, it'll go ahead and kick that off. And so happened so fast. Didn't even get it. Yeah, and so those are kind of the general use cases. If you wanted to download something locally, so if I wanted to download the zip file that I have, click on the icon there, download, and so you'll see that information kick off, and that'll just take a few seconds. It's doing that. If I was to upload data, maybe I wanted to create a new folder as well with today's date. I could do 24 days of 15th. Go ahead and click save. And so you'll see it creates the folder, and then I can just click in and upload files to that particular location. And let's say, I don't know, I typed in the date wrong. Go ahead and change that to the 16th if today was the 16th. So you can go ahead and edit that. And then the information will be available if you're processing, right? To go into Relativity, go to your processing set, and go ahead and ingest that right from there. Or if it's in the ARM share, the ARM can be restored from there. So, anybody have any questions? Let's see, fast. Yep. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So to touch on the settings, so the settings are available here. So I'll go ahead and show those. So these are the active transfers. So you can see we can have 1, 2, or 3. We'll email notifications out. One thing to note, actually on February 1st, Relativity had a full restall, but generally, and that's because of the Azure Aspera switch. But if you want to enable automatic updates, so as they make changes, you can have Relativity automatically update that for you. Of course, depending on your permissions from an IT perspective, you have that available there. Your throughput check, so on the bandwidth of testing out your bandwidth, this may take a minute or two, but just to showcase that too. Close that. So, perfect. Well, thank you everybody for joining in, and If you have any questions, I mean, feel free to reach out. You can use the QR code that's on the screen to reach out to us, or me directly, or anybody else on the team. Love to talk about anything, answer any questions. So thank you all for joining, and looking forward to seeing everybody soon on our next 15 to 15 or sooner. Great. Well, thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Have a great day.